I'm a bad motherfucker.
Kurt has some breaking news. Kurt, what did you just order?
A Kamala I'm Speaking t-shirt. I cannot wait to wear it everywhere.
Kurt,
everywhere I go.
Kurt, fresh off his triumphant return to the Joe Rogan show yesterday, I watched the first hour and a half. I have to get to the second half this weekend.
It's fantastic.
But it was
the Haktua hat really added to it.
I'm like, where's the Haktua hat?
It's I gotta break. You can't just use that power all the time. It's like having Trump shoes on your head.
It was so funny when you were talking about the aliens coming down. They always go to farmers. Tell your leader, why don't you go to the White House? Why don't you go to the president's house? Stick your thumb up his ass. Because that's rape.
It's a good question. Why?
They always call it probing, but if it was done by Puerto Ricans,
I forgot about that. Whitley Strieber guy is the one who said I shouldn't have called it probing, because that became like a big joke. He's right after that, you know, but he didn't want to say what it was, which is space space assault.
Kurt, tell people this is also included in his most recent Joe Rogan appearance.
Yeah,
the number one show in the world, by the way.
I thought some housewife show I never heard of was now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like all these like industry podcasts are like other Joe Rogan show, and they're almost as popular immediately.
Immediately.
People you never heard of.
Yeah. Rogan's got 19 million subscribers on YouTube. That's pretty good.
That's after he left YouTube.
It's after he left YouTube for 3 years.
How do you think I'm more from leaving?
Kurt, tell people where the term tinfoil hat comes from.
Oh, yeah, Leonard Kyle. Kiles. And I couldn't find him on Wikipedia either, but go on Control All History. They have a great thing about the story. And he was one of the first people to get a brain chip, a cool cutting-edge brain chip. I can't remember the doctor's name. Delgado. Carlos Delgado, I want to say. And he wrote a book about...
and this was a long time ago?
1969.
They put a chip
in a guy's head without telling him. They didn't tell him.
They didn't tell him.
Yeah, it's the CIA.
And you learned about this on Control Alt History.
The guy has a bunch of very interesting stories from recent history. So what's scary is they're all things you kind of might remember, but you didn't remember really. And there was no internet back then. And you realize all this stuff, none of it could have been gotten away with if there was internet. None of it. Their stories are so shoddy. And just think of the arguing about like JFK stuff and all this other crap and how now it seems ridiculous. That's because we got internet.
Yeah.
If you didn't, you would just have like somebody's work. You find out people that you think are experts, like your Dr. Bodden. I mean, he's probably a good coroner since he helped cover up JFK. That's why that guy got famous. He was the guy. Everybody said the Warren Commission was good.
Yeah,
they're just HBO experts now, or that's how I was introduced to them. Oh, that's the guy from HBO. He knows what he's talking about.
So you were watching Control Alt History, and they said that
Control Alt History, not delete.
Control Alt History, and they were saying that there's this guy named Kiles, Kiles.
Leonard Kyle.
Leonard Kyle.
He had Polaroid. He was smart. He worked for Polaroid.
And a doctor surreptitiously or secretly stuck a chip in his brain, and he didn't know it.
You can see the footage of that bull. You know, there's an old black and white footage of they put a chip in a bull's brain and then they zap it with a certain part and it doesn't charge. Well, they got that right into people. They didn't just do it to bulls. They did it to this guy, Leonard Kyle. And he ended up going to a mental ward because he was real screwed up. And, it sounds like it made him a schizo is what it sounds like. And then he would put a trash can on his head because the pain... microwaves are being used to trigger the response in the brain. So he knew that, at least, even though his brain was going, and he would put a trash can on his head, try to block it. But then they would let him use aluminum foil. The hospital's like, here, try this aluminum foil instead. And that's where you get tinfoil hat. And Michael Crichton wrote a book called Terminal Man, because he was at Harvard whenever they did this, supposedly, or something like that. Terminal Man. You look on Wikipedia, they'll tell you a different thing. In fact, they'll tell you the tinfoil hat came from MIT students thinking you could make radio waves go further with aluminum foil. It's an old joke. No, it's not. It's from what they did to this guy.
So that's where the term tinfoil hat comes from. Did you know? Yeah. Did you know, Kurt, that they also have technology where they try to somehow beam voices into people's brains?
That's what that is from the 60s. So it's old. That's been around forever. That's from that guy. The microwaves are how you do it. And he had a chip in his head. By the way, they don't need to put a chip in your head anymore. They could just do it now.
Yeah, now they can just. So that's,
don't get scared.
So did you send me the thing, or did I stumble on the thing where they can just beam voices into people?
No, I sent it to you. It's from 2007. That's a Washington Post.
Washington Post.
Before Havana Syndrome. Remember Havana Syndrome?
Yeah.
Well, I heard about that way later than this. And so when you hear about it's called V2K, voice to skull. I don't know why it's a K. I hope it's not because that's how you spell skull in German, Kopf. I hope that's not why.
And so they have, so there's we should do it. So I want to show the Washington Post article. So
I stumbled onto it I was trying to find just anything about voice to skull, and all of a sudden that popped up.
An article from the Washington Post, and the article said that they have technology now where they can beam voices into people's heads.
Dude, get Eric Hecker on here. He could prove he worked in Antarctica and all that. And
all right. So
this is old stuff. It was in Metal Gear video games back in 2005 or something. This is you just got to read technical weapons dealers magazines,
Yeah.
Like doctors' office magazines of weapons manufacturers. They have this stuff right in there.
So Chief Nerd says, this was my favorite part of the RFK. I have several very much favorite parts, but this may be my all-time favorite. And I've neglected to show it to you on Wednesday. But here is the favorite part of RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearing. And by the way, like I told you, I have inside information. I have an insider in this Senate. Once removed.
A source close to the Senate.
I have a source who has a source in the Senate who told me that they're going to find a way to get RFK Jr. confirmed. And so that seems like that is going to happen.
I mean, it feels like it is because these questions, I haven't seen this one yet. So far, my favorite is, do you support this onesie?
Yeah.
Do you support this onesie? With Bernie Sanders?
But RFK, please take this onesie down. Please take the onesie down.
Do you support this merch?
So this is my favorite part. This is Senator Hassan. All these senators, there's only 50 senators, and I haven't heard of 45 of them.
Yeah, that's odd.
Isn't
they're
that
like
odd?
Biden family members.
Yeah.
You've never heard of them until they're pardoned?
So here she is. She's going to talk about listen to how she contradicts herself and how stupid she sounds. Here we go. Watch this.
Sometimes science is wrong. We make progress.
Sometimes science is wrong.
Right.
We that's how we make progress. And then she says, because she's upset at RFK for wanting to have the normal safety tests that you do for every other drug, he wants them done with vaccines. That's all he wants. He wants the same safety tests that you do for other drugs to be done for vaccines. And so they don't want him to do that. They don't want him to do that. And by the way, since vaccines are safe and effective, why do they need a liability shield from lawsuits? They don't have it for any other drug. Nope, there's no other product in the world that has a liability shield. Why? So I'm saying vaccines are safe and effective. Why do you need the liability shield? So here she's gonna. So let's play it out from the beginning. Here we go.
Sometimes science is wrong.
Sometimes.
We make progress.
Yeah, but
we build on the work, and we become more successful.
After we fail.
And when you continue to sow doubt about settled science, it makes it impossible for us to move forward.
Okay.
So science is wrong, and then we correct it. But if you're going to come back and still question science, it's impossible to do science if you question science.
Yeah. Why is your last name Hassan also? I have another question. How the hell did you get the last name Hassan?
I'm going to guess. Well, one of my favorite chefs married, she was Italian, and she married someone, Marcella Hassan. She married someone with the last name Hassan. That's how she got the name.
I thought she was Hassan Piker's wife.
Is she wearing black fingernail polish?
Senator Hassanabi. Why would
So that's my favorite. I'll play it again. This is my favorite thing. Sure, science, we get it wrong. Please stop questioning science. Well, how did you know you got it wrong unless someone questioned it? Would you stop it with the questions?
Well, if it's settled. So, hey, who settles science? Did she mention who gets to settle the science?
Who says the science is settled?
Sometimes science is wrong. We make progress. We build on the work, and we become more successful. And when you continue to sow doubt about settled science, it makes it impossible for us to move forward. What? So that's what the problem is here.
That's what the problem is. You're questioning.
It's the relitigating and rehashing and continuing to sow doubt so we can't move forward. And it freezes us in place.
What? Frozen in place? You mean like having half your face frozen from Bell's palsy right after you get your jab?
You mean like that?
Frozen in place.
You mean that kind of frozen? Wow. We are RFK, you're freezing us. The whole science community is frozen because of the power RFK has. It's frozen.
My friend can no longer feel her face. Stop freezing us.
And I have one more question. What is a rim job?
SOY and science.
Sure, sometimes we get science wrong. But then sometimes we say, okay, stop asking questions. And that's when it becomes settled.
How can we move forward without getting in trouble for the previous crimes we did? Stop freezing us with your regulations of we can't experiment on you.
That's a senator said that without any trace of irony at all.
Yeah. Settled science is not a thing that exists in any...
There's no such thing.
No science. That's specifically, I've heard them refute. There's no such thing as that many times.
There's no such thing as settled. You remember when we all thought Newton knew everything there was to know about gravity for at least 100 years, if not more.
Yeah.
Newtonian laws of physics. And then Einstein came around and he said, hey, you know what? This settled science, I'm going to question it. And it turns out he did EMC squared.
Yeah, it turns out he was the smartest cousin fucker that ever lived.
Yeah, which changed everything on what we thought about gravity.
And science itself.
And science.
He's obviously made some mistake because that's why science has stalled. Not asking questions, the basis of science.
So a guy who's been totally discredited in the media, and he's the guy who has the power to start or stop science. RFK. He's not even confirmed yet. He's stopping science. Please stop it. How do you know when you're done asking questions about science?
Wait, why would all he said was we'd like to see the results of the science you did.
Where's the
we can't show it to you, or else we'll be too afraid to do more science.
Sometimes science is wrong. We make progress.
Wrong.
We build on the work, and we become more successful. And when you continue to sow doubt about settled science, it makes it impossible for us to move forward. So that's what the problem is here.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of scientists in the lab right now going, well, I'd like to move science forward, but here RFK is saying shit on the internet.
Science
I can't
is
do
sleeping.
it.
Stop unsettling.
How can we possibly move forward now? Stop questioning vaccines. That's what she's saying. Stop it.
I don't even question vaccines. I'm questioning why they shouldn't have to show
their work.
Show their work like I would have to in the 3rd grade.
Yep.
You know? What, like that how would that be of harm? I believe that they're safe and effective. Why don't you show your remember they're like, hey Trump, where's your tax returns?
Right, remember that?
Let's do that with the vaccine. Let's see the numbers and who made what. And display all that information. What's the problem? I know I'm supposed to have a transparent life everybody gets to look at 24/7.
Hey,
I can't even see the soyance being made.
I want to see the soyance. It's wrong.
The sausage of soyance is made in a factory that you don't want to see.
Okay, over to Steph.
Okay, Jimmy. All right, here we go.
Back to me.
Oh, back to Jimmy. I just got one.
We have 10 tickets left for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's big show. We have 10 tickets, and we will be questioning the soyance.
You'll be settling the soyance.
10 tickets tomorrow night in Los Angeles, Studio City, California, Two Roads Theater. Very intimate, 60 seats. That's it. It's me and 60 people and our good friend Adam Ferrara. Adam Ferrara will be on that show from Rescue Me, which is the Dennis Leary vehicle. He's also on the, was it Top Gun? No, Top, is it, what was it? What was his car show called?
Oh boy, let me look.
It's not Top Chef.
No. You're so funny that you're asking this again. Come on, why didn't I have it?
Top Model? No, that would be a different thing.
It was Reboot. Let's see, and it's Top Gear, a car
Top Gear.
Show. Top Gear.
Top Gun is Tom Cruise. My name is Tom. I'm in my car cruising. I'm Tom Cruising. So Adam Ferrara will be on that show. Steph will be on that show. Chris King will be on that show. I think we'll add one more comedian to that show. Special guest from the movies. I have a feeling. I have a special guest from the movies.
You need to move a little bit that way.
Do I need to move a little bit this way?
I think so. Somebody on the team was suggesting it. Yeah, I think that was perfect.
Oh. Hoo-ha! Oh, she had an ass.
Okay.
I woke up in the morning. She brought me cafe au lait in bed. My balls felt like concrete. That is my version of Al Pacino.
What are the short and curlies again?
Oh, the hair downstairs is a little more wiry.
It makes Misha laugh every time.
I just say that to watch Misha laugh because that makes her laugh. I don't know why that makes her laugh, but it is a little more wiry. But you'd never know that because the kids today are all bald. They're doing all the hair transplants up here, but they're taking all the hair everywhere else. They're taking it away.
Yeah. Yeah, crabs are going extinct. It's a fact. They're like the polar bears of the pube icebergs of the...
Yeah. And scientists say in 5 years, we'll have crab-free pubes. Okay, over to Steph.
Oh, look at you sneaking up on me. Are they doing that crawl today? Do you know? Is Andrew has a crawl.
Here, so let me finish.
Jimmy's got let him finish. Back to Jim.
So go to jimmydore.com, get tickets tomorrow night. 10 tickets left for our stand-up show. Andrew Frankel opens up with a rousing musical number. The things he can get a violin to do are crazy. And then I come right out. No wait, you don't have to wait 45 minutes or an hour. It's a 7:30 show. Starts at 7:30. Tomorrow night, Studio City, Two Roads Theater. Go to jimmydore.com and we'll see you there. 10 tickets. First 10 people. Go to jimmydore.com. Get your ticket for tomorrow night, Saturday, February 1st. Or do you say February? Some people say February. Some people say February.
I just say Feb.
Some people say often. It's often. You're not. That's like one of those things you're not supposed. Why do they put it in there if you're not supposed to use it?
I often say often.
I every once in a while I'll slip and say often, but it is often. It's just like you don't say pneumonia.
Of course I do. How do you say it?
I do say stomach. I say that.
Do you say supposedly?
Do you
my
say
stomach hurts?
My stomach. Ooh. So it's not often. I'm just saying. Half the country says often. I think they ubiquitously say it in Britain. Or do you say Britain? I say it like Rusty Rocket says Britain. I don't pronounce the T's often.
Well, I always hear him pronounce it with like a D, like 17. That's what it sounds like they're saying to me. Australians too.
Okay, over to Steph.
Oh, you're really surprising me today with this back and forth business. Here we go. I went to the seance to settle the Soyance. All right. Thank you, Eric. John, and once Soyance is settled and the result is produced, it is always perfect and can't be improved on. John, scientism, when science becomes religion, SS. These science deniers need to fall in line. Garble. Free speech even comes in the form of onesie, duly noted. This is for Kerp. It warmed my heart when you mentioned Joseph P. Farrell at Joe Rogan's Experience podcast. He is truly a brilliant man. More people need to read his books.
I didn't know he wrote books. I just like his music.
Totally different guy.
Different guy.
Oh, different Farrell?
I guess. I don't know who was the one you're talking about.
You don't know who Farrell is?
Perry Farrell?
I don't know. Who's the Farrell? You know Farrell. You know what I'm talking about?
From Jane's Addiction?
You can show Jimmy.
Isn't there a musician called Farrell?
Not Pharrell.
Pharrell, that's
Pharrell,
it.
Okay.
Oh, do you say Farrell?
Yeah, it's the same. It is the same guy, yeah.
What do you say? How do you say his name?
Dr. Farrell is Pharrell.
Oh, okay. I say Farrell. But you say,
Farrell.
But it's Pharrell. That's the musician Pharrell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
News to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
real kick in the stomach.
Yeah, real gut punk. If you say stomach, why can't you say punt instead of punch? Say punk. I got it. It's a real stomach punk.
Yeah,
I guess.
You can, and I will.
Yeah. Okay. Over to Steph.
Wow, a lot of over to Steph. I'm getting really confused. Okay, over to Steph. Over to Misha. Can't even show her. She won't even be on camera today. She's got a new hairdo. She's not sure about it. All right, here we go. All right.
She's doing the Casparian.
Yeah.
No, I call this Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, yeah. Way better. She calls it the Audrey Hepburn. She doesn't call it new skirt. Hey, per Trump advisor, war if Tulsi and Cash not confirmed. Savage. Want to go down a rabbit hole? Center for Applied Rationality and zzz. Ben the Beast Franklin. When Kurt called Kamala Harris a human Haktua pump and dump, I lost it. That's the most accurate description of Kamala I've ever heard, by the way. Cadmus.
I was saying double down. Reinvest in Kamala and Haktua.
Right, yes.
So.
Oh, I think it's back to Jimmy.